Alrighty, guys, we are here. It is What's Up Wednesday, and we are here with the one and only Mr. Allison. Mr. Allison, how's it going today?
Oh, you know what? Today's not too bad. So how are you doing?
Pretty nice day out, so you're enjoying that weather.
I am. I decided to move my office outside today.
All right, so this week, the sixth graders sent me some questions that they wanted to ask you. So the
Okay.
very first one is from Luke. He says, "Why do you like the Cubs?"
When I was a kid, we didn't have all the channels that kids have today, and so my mom stayed at home and raised us. And one of the channels we got was WGN, and my mom was a huge Cubs fan. And this was before they had lights at Wrigley, so they had all their home games were day games. And since mom was a Cubs fan and mom was at home, we watched a lot of Cub games, and so that's how I got hooked. My dad is a Cardinals fan, but dad was at work, and the Cardinals weren't on TV all the time, so that's kind of where it all started.
And you always do what your mother says. So
Well, of course, yeah.
the next one's from Gabe. This is an extension from a question that I asked Miss Fleming
Ah,
because
yes,
she chose you to get her off the island. Gabe says, "Do you really think you could get you guys off the island?"
yes. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm getting off that island. I got, as much as it would be enjoyable, you got to think about who all she picked. She also said Mrs. Lemasters would get there, and I gotta get home. I gotta get away. But I kid. I love Mrs. Lemasters. I think we all do. But yes, I would do everything I could to get off that island, Gabe.
Very good. All right, and now Sarah has multiple questions for you, and they're very good. So I'm going to ask them. She says, "Would you rather have 89 pets or eat a mixture of ice cream, noodles, mac and cheese, eggs, milk, bananas, cookies, and broccoli?"
Well, so she never specified what type of pets.
Okay.
89 small fish, I would take.
All right. I like that answer. Your next one. What was your most embarrassing moment with the sixth grade teachers at Dunlap Valley Middle School?
Most embarrassing moment. Oh man, there are quite a few to choose from. Um, I think it had to do with there was a time we were at lunch, and I like to speak with my hands, and this was years ago. And woman I taught, she was actually in she was our resource teacher, so she was our not as good as Miss Bybee, but she was in that same realm.
Right.
Um, she had a coffee in her hand, and as I was speaking, I hit her hand, and then the coffee spilled all over me. And luckily, I had my planning period after that, so I was able to run home and
Well,
change my
and
shirt.
luckily it was on you too, and it wasn't on her.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So that's probably the top embarrassing moment. And so, you know, I try to stop with the big hand gestures when I see that someone has hot coffee.
And then Sarah's last question. Did you want to be a teacher when you were a child? And if not, what did you want to be?
Oh, as a kid, you go through a lot of different things. Of course, I wanted to be a pro baseball player. I mean, every boy wants to be some sort of professional athlete. Um, at one time, I did want to be a principal.
Okay.
I do have my endorsement for that, but I've decided that that's probably not where I need to be. But there was a time where I wanted that. I did want to be a police officer. There's actually a picture of me in kindergarten dressed up as a police officer for a career day. Um, and then I wanted to be an attorney.
Oh,
I thought kind of through high school that was my goal was to do that. Um, and I actually wanted to run for office. I wanted to be president.
oh
But now I'm
gosh.
glad that I've taken a step back from all that.
I bet I'm going to get a lot of emails that are going to say Mr. Allison for president now.
I am old enough now, so I could do it, but I'm good with where I'm at.
All right, just a couple more questions for you. These
Sure.
ones are supposed to be fun. So,
Okay.
how long do you think you could survive a zombie apocalypse?
How long? I think I could hold out for a while. I've got enough if I'm at home. I've got plenty of tools at home that I think I could fight them off. If I'm at school, I've got enough kids to throw in front of the zombies to hold them off. No, I'm kidding, guys. I would say probably at least a month.
All
The
right.
the food shortage would probably start in, but I think I could go at least a month pretty safely.
You would last a lot longer than I would, that's for sure. What would be your spirit animal?
Oh, my spirit animal. Um, wow, that's a good one.
I love this question.
That's making me think here. I would go with a horse.
Okay.
You know, they're hardworking. They You've really got to direct them. They don't just we've gone on a vacation where we went horseback riding daily, and the horses I've had, if they didn't want to do something, they didn't do it. It took a lot of convincing, and I feel like I'm similar to that, where you got to convince me that you need me to do this. So I would, and plus they're a very elegant creature, and
Of
elegance is
course, you're
just is,
elegant.
is just me. But I would go with a horse probably.
All right, I like that answer. Last one. Do you have any advice for the sixth graders right now, or do you have a little pep talk you want to share with them?
You know, to I I've struggled. I've stressed out with things. I'm pretty sure that they are stressing out as well. Um, and that's going to be a normal feeling for everybody during this time. So you're not alone if you're stressing out on things. Probably the biggest, most important thing that everyone can do is when they get an email or a Canvas announcement or some message from one of us, we are doing the best we can to make sure that we have every single thing outlined, that we want you to do. So make sure you're reading through those guys. Make sure you are looking for things, how to submit something or where it's located. But that's going to cut down on your stresses if you actually take the time to read those messages. And we've said this before. We're going to keep saying it, guys. We are here for you. Emails, Google Meets, Go Guardian chats. There's a lot of things uh, that we can do. So hang in there, stick with it, and we're going to get through this. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're back May 1st so we can end the year together. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to end the year apart. I think we
Yeah,
need to have that something at the end of the year where we're all back together again. So uh, that's it.
fairly nicely put. All right, guys. So I want you guys to email me what teacher you want me to interview next week. Mr. Allison, do you have any suggestions on who you think it should be?
Oh, I think it's time to check in on Mr. Young.
Mr. Young.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I think Mr. Young is a good one because okay, I'll be honest. I sat here and I'm like, I watched your video with Miss Fleming, and so I was prepared to answer who I would be on a deserted island with. And Mr. Young was one of my choices because he is very handy. I would get us off the island, but he would be the one that would build the boat that would get us off the island. So I was all prepared for that answer, and that's why I think Mr. Young, so we can maybe have him show off some of his woodworking skills to everybody, because from the stuff that I've seen, he is phenomenal at that. So I think he'd be a good one to bring in at this time and catch up on him, and maybe see if anyone notices anything different about Mr. Young when they see him.
All right. So I'll have you guys email me if you want to see Mr. Young or another sixth grade teacher, and then email me some questions to ask them. I'll have to make sure to put that question in there for you, Mr. Allison. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us. It was good to see you, Mr. Allison. Have a great day.
Good to see you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.